8 seconds to go in regulation. It's Jokic. Zubac is on him.
The first 4 games of this series, they've been mostly close. 3 of the 4 games have been decided by 3 or fewer points, including 1 in overtime, the outlier being the one that I drove all the way out to watch. That's when the Clippers had a 34-point victory in Game 3. But all kidding aside, this series has been absolutely excellent. We talked about this having the potential to be a long series, and it's living up to that billing. Danny, I want to start with you here. Bouncing back on your home floor, fighting all the way back from down 20 heading into the fourth quarter, to be able to have a shot to win it, and then that Aaron Gordon shot happens. How do you bounce back going on the road?
I mean, you have to have some veteran, presence in that locker room. You have to have some leadership, the coaching staff. Maybe that guy can help too. The last, the Terminator, he can help. But I'm looking for James Harden to step up in this Game 5. This is the series where he can turn it around, turn his image, that whatever you guys talking about him in the name, or whatever they talk about, how he disappears in the series.
You guys,
I mean, the world, the media world talks about it. So
he's coming for us.
I'm looking for James to come in and set the tone and actually step up and be a presence in these last, 3 or 4, these 3 games that they have left. So, but for them, they have to have some mentality of letting that last game go. Obviously, this is not the finals where I've had some tough losses, a big shot, so I know what that's like. I don't want to speak about it. But this one, they can bounce back from, I think, easily. They've been up. The last 2 games, they're up.
You okay?
Or they were down 20. I'm okay.
Okay.
But
we're just checking on you.
Clippers are a really good team. They have some good vets there, but it starts with Kawhi, and I think it ends with James.
You got some rings, man. You good.
Yeah.
You good.
3 of them things.
I've been lucky.
3 of them things. Look, you're absolutely correct. I think what you're, efforting to say was flip the narrative.
Flip the narrative.
Because a lot of people talk about how he disappears. If Perk was here, he'd say it's the postseason James that matters most. This is a great opportunity for everyone to be able to say, hey, look what he did here. Look what you got me all tied up now. Look what he did here to really help his team win in the most important games, especially at the latter half of your career. Also, they were down, the Clippers, 20 points going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
I thought I was watching the magic happen. I literally thought, I was like, oh, this is the moment. The comeback is here. Norm Powell, you saw how he was shooting the ball, how they were finding him, knocking down threes, but then, what was it? The Mile High Matinee, the Gordon, the alley-oops. All of that made an appearance. I think that they have to realize that they have to be the aggressors. They can't get in a hole. Kawhi has to show up, and the role players are now walking in confidently knowing that they have to handle their business.
They are favored in this one, Booze, but this is Jokic back on his home floor. Going on the road after a loss like that, what do you need to see from Kawhi?
Yeah, I mean, this comes down to Kawhi Leonard and Nikola Jokic. These are the 2 best players in the series. Nikola Jokic is averaging 29 points, 13 rebounds, 10 assists. Then you got Kawhi playing like old school playoff Kawhi. We're so used to seeing him get down like this. He's locking up defensively, doing a great job on Michael Porter Jr. He's hitting big shots. He obviously had the huge explosion, but whoever imposes their will the best in this game, their team will take a huge advantage and get a chance to win this series. Obviously, you get a leg up, you go up 3-2, but it comes down to those 2 stars to me.
Danny, you played with Kawhi Leonard. You won a championship with Kawhi Leonard. What makes him different at this time of year? Because this is the best that he has looked this far into the year
he's just so efficient.
Yeah.
He's so even keel. He can keep your locker room at, very poised. And not only Boo was saying win the series, but they could win they can win a championship when he's playing this type of basketball. There's nobody better at the 2-way player in the game than Kawhi Leonard when he's this focused and this healthy. So he can also score, but also defensively he could change the game. He can get stops, he can get steals, he can block shots, make the right reads on offense. He can do a multitude of things that helps your team, lift your team to winning a championship or being a championship caliber team.
And if you're looking at these numbers, it's almost like in some ways when they're playing their best, could they potentially neutralize each other? When you're going star for star and then role player for role player, you're seeing most people have different games of stepping up. To me, it comes down to the sidelines. You have a vast difference in experience amongst coaches. And what's interesting is for the Nuggets, changing their coach now has created a monster in Jokic being more vocal in a way that he hasn't been before. We literally see him being demonstrative on the sidelines, saying, showing people how much he cares and not to give up. On the other side, what's Coach T. Lue got up his sleeve?
Right.
To
Always
me,
something.
that is what has to help you on the road when your coach brings a scheme that gives you the advantage more so than when you're at home.
The Lakers, they were in control until they weren't. A fourth quarter collapse, a 43-point night from Anthony Edwards has Los Angeles on the brink. Now they're down 3-1 with Game 5 and their season on the line at home tomorrow night. So let's take a listen to J.J. Redick just a few moments ago on what changes need to come in Game 5.
When you go with the same pace that you used in the second half of the game before to start Game 5, TBD. When you got to look at the tape and look at the fourth quarter, was there any sign of fatigue affecting your guys' performance?
No, and you know what? Looking back now, what have we scored? 19, 20, 13 in the fourth quarter. You know, it's a trend. More so than that. I mean, we missed, our two best players missed layups at the rim. You know, it's, I don't think they missed layups because they were tired.
Yeah, they probably were tired because J.J. Redick only played 5 players in the second half of Sunday's loss. And we're not here to harp on that. It's been well documented, right, Booze? But after hearing from him just a couple of minutes ago here at practice, do you expect him to make a change to his game plan at all?
I mean, we'll see. Maybe he takes a couple minutes off for LeBron in the fourth quarter, maybe a couple minutes off for Luka. But let's be clear. LeBron has been outstanding. He literally had a 25-point triple-double the other night. Luka had 38 points or whatever that may be. My thing about JJ is you're looking down the end of the bench, like, who am I putting in?
Right.
You know what I mean? I think he was rocking with the team that he thought was going to get him to win. He pretty much coached it as if it was a must-win, like a Game 7 type of environment. I do think that, you know, his two best players did miss a couple of layups, but LeBron's playing A-plus defense, setting everybody up, scoring when he has to score, and we need him to close too. Like, I feel, for me personally, I feel like some of the others have to step up a little bit more. I thought Hachimura played great. I thought AR had some really good looks. I thought there's a lot of pressure on Luka as he's bringing the ball up, going one, pick and roll, high pick and roll, sometimes isolation ball, pretty much the whole fourth quarter. Maybe mix up some of that, but I just feel like he went with the team that he thought that was going to win the game. And moving forward, if some of the other guys can make some shots, if I'm a bench guy, I'm trying to prove to JJ when I do get in the first half that I need more minutes. But you got to figure out a way to extend this series. Those two guys have been playing great.
I think, Booze, to follow up on what you just said, why have some of the role players or the bench players not been able to step up? It's because of the roles and responsibilities of the stars. I mean, these two bench, groups, they're on polar opposite situations right now. One has been, completely didn't see the light of day on the court, and the other have been valuable people that have contributed to the game. I'm thinking about the Timberwolves. Look at the big games that we've seen from Naz Reid or Jaden McDaniels, who was like another heroic type of performance down the stretch. That's because their star player is breathing life into them, competing on both ends, and obviously trusting his teammates. We started off the year saying, well, Ant, he's shooting a lot of threes. Well, Ant, he's dropping 40, but his team lost. He's gone through it to get to it, and now he's bringing his teammates along. On the other side, for the Los Angeles Lakers, their stars are asked to do things that are, difficult, like LeBron James guarding centers. Yeah. I mean, when I saw that inbounds pass where it was a turnover, I was like, that's slippage that you're seeing right there. Luka Doncic defensively not doing what he needs to do. Like, that's not helping your role players be great on top of that.
But J.J. Danny is talking about trends, and them struggling in the fourth quarter. It's not just the fatigue, it's been a trend, because the Lakers have been outscored by 36 points in that frame this postseason. That's the worst of the 16 teams in the playoffs. That's after blowing a 10-point lead going into the fourth in Game 4. They were outscored by 13 in that one, Danny.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about the Minnesota Timberwolves bench and how much they've been an impact. You got to give these guys an opportunity. You got to find a minute or two for LeBron. It is fatigue.
Yeah.
There's not scoring in the fourth because Luka's tired. LeBron is tired. You got to find them a minute or two. I know you don't have much, but Gabe Vincent can give you a minute or two. Vando can give you a minute or two. Goodwin. You can, somehow rotate to not have them all off the floor at the same time, but you can give Bron a minute or two because the fatigue is really hurting them, and their offense is so stagnant. They're having turnovers. It looks one-on-one slow. If Perk was here, you talk about how Luka dribbles the ball, dribbles the air out of the basketball, pick and roll, and they're playing at a slow pace. They need to find some freshmen, some refreshing time to get their pace back and get their focus and get their legs back to be able to run in the fourth quarter just a little bit.
This is a live look at the Lakers practice as we speak right now. Headband Luka getting some shots up here. But as much as we talk about the adjustments the Lakers need to make, I do want to give their due respect to the Timberwolves here. In 30 seconds, Chiney, Anthony Edwards, the questions about the fourth quarter that followed him through the regular season, postseason. On the flip side of what we've seen from the Lakers, they have not been there for the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yeah, I agree. And, you know, even bigger picture than this, a lot of people have wondered in that mega trade that we saw, okay, will both teams be better off right now? For the Knicks, looking at Cat trying to close the series, they're looking like that's meant to be for him. And now Julius Randle showing up for the Timberwolves. They're looking like a true team, and that's because they go as Ant Edwards goes. He has been the most impressive. These back-to-back years in the postseason, he has a heck of a resume and stars he's taken down.
Yeah.
One win away from taking down the Lakers, LeBron, and Luka.
And then he's going to go head-to-head potentially with Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors. I mean, Anthony Edwards right now, these are the games and the moments that he lives for.